Silart is working for its next project, Eunoia 2.0, Prostitution of Stories, which will take place next 28th of June in the venue offered by Kulturhaus Helferei in Zurich, Switzerland, which we are very happy. And to open this space with a lot of female composers to share their experience, their background, their work.
We were thinking about, like, our first question is like, what line of work you follow and why do you decide, or if you have changed your type of writing skills or a type of music?
Actually, as a composer, my life has been divided in two parts. One part for composing and another part for improvising. You know, I think they are close to each other and they are very different from each other. When I improvise, I believe one part of my brain is working, and when I'm composing, another part is working. This is the first step. The second step is the style that is varying during the decade. For example, 10 years ago, I was very enthusiastic in contemporary music, but nowadays my taste has changed, and I'm very enthusiastic in folk music, especially my own folk music and fusion music. You know, it's changing during the my composing life. Okay.
So you are also so improvising and composing, but you are also introduced the improvised field in your music when you compose for other performers?
Yes, I have released many albums, if you have seen my website, but I have 2 albums that they are my improvisation. One of them is Bubble and Mirage. The name is Bubble and Mirage, which I played the piano with the Iranian instruments. For example, I don't know, you know this instrument, tar, setar, kaman.
Okay.
I've chosen different friends who plays the Iranian classical instrument, and then I as a duet. This album is duet, and recently we released an album. It's Timeless Mirror with one of my friends. He is playing the saxophone, and actually it has been, you know, many people saw this music and listen to this music in Spotify, and they really pay attention to our music. And this is my 2 albums in improvisation.
Oh, nice.
Super interesting.
And these improvisation are now connected to folk music from Iran. You always
you know,
yes,
you have to listen to my music. I'm a combination of many things, because from childhood I used to play piano and classical piano. But I was growing up in Iran, and Iranian music and Iranian atmosphere was around me. You know, my music is something mixed between this between classical music. Sometimes I feel that I'm in love in Bach and Bartok and Schoenberg. Sometimes I feel that I'm in love with my own music in my country, and the mixture of this love is my music.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Okay.
So we would like to ask you also what kind of inspiration is that you're looking for? So what inspires you?
Let me tell you. You know, the history of my that I have been faced to music is the entrance of piano instrument in my home was roughly coincident with a political upheaval in Iran. which limited music education at that time. Before learning Farsi alphabet, I started learning music. Even because of the Islamic revolution in Iran, we were not allowed to learn music in our country. For example, my piano teacher used to come to our house secretly.
Wow.
No one could carry the instrument, for example, guitar or tar or everything in the street. The police will arrest you, in the when I was about 5 years and 6 years old, and a political revolution happened in Iran, and our country became Islamic. So no one allowed to educate music in our country. There were no university, or you rarely could find a private classes there. And after that, actually, a war between Iran and Iraq happened, and we were in a war, and most of the time we didn't have electricity. It was dark, absolute dark, and I used to go to my piano and playing piano for hours, endless time, because I wanted to maybe not to think about the danger atmosphere outside. My piano was my best friend during all that time. If you read my biography, you see that when I was 23 years old, I started educating music.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't have any opportunity to study music.
But you had to travel away from home to study.
No, actually, these days, after about 2 or 3 decades after revolution, the atmosphere has changed, and now they allowed people to practice instruments and have educational opportunities, but they are not that much academically acceptable. But I followed them, and I started educating, and I got my master's degree in arts, University of Tehran.
Okay. And could you tell us if how this inspiration, or this background, affect to your music, your way of composing?
This is my philosophy of life, that limitation makes you an artist. If you think deeply about all the musicians, artists, writers, there were always a limitation in their life, or physically, or socially, something that when you cannot tolerate outside situation, you start creating something to get rid of that pain.
That's really interesting.
This is my experience.
Really, really nice. You are a superwoman.
No, but you have to know, I have fought all my life to get and I'm still hungry. I'm still thirsty about learning, you know?
Yeah.
But this is,
I have fought all my life to be heard since I was a child, asking my friends and my parents to listen to the music I have had. And I know it was time for my music. I think that this is the time I want to be heard. And it's in spite of facing lots of social obstacles and not having any support, I made a lots of effort to record and release my music album and my book.
Oh, that's super nice. I think, have you, about our project, what was the most thing that picked you up reading about our project?
The only thing was that you were young.
Really?
Really, because it reminds when I was young, I wanted to connect with people, talk to them, interview with them, and I learned from them a lot. And you're enthusiastic was something that I admire, and I decided to allocate my time to.
Well,
Okay,
thank
that's
you.
really nice. Thank you.
Like I think that also, like, even if like we are like kind of in Spain, that woman composers or woman artists also like have troubles because the world is like this, sadly. But like we need to make more effort just because we are women, even wherever you are. And that this is a kind of thing that make us to create this association, because wherever woman in the world has the same feeling as us, because all of us live in a not equal situation.
Exactly. Actually, this is what I really suffer from, that especially in my own country, that they didn't give me that much credit that they gave to the men, you know. And then all the time I was fighting. They wanted to ignore me. They wanted to remove me.
You're welcome. Like we have a question, like our project speaks about, because we have, when we learn about any woman artist, we will always learn the opinion of a man of the story of this woman. We never learn what this woman say in the past, because they were not able to speak. Other people that generally were a masculine figure speak about them, about how they see the life. And for example, now that we have read your information on internet, doesn't have like a real connection about with the stories that you are telling us, you know. So we have a question: if you have read something about you that is not true, or that, okay, this is what Google say about me, but this is not me. Did you experience this situation? Or
actually,
what say?
if I have to make a confession, you know, I'm not the kind of person who really read the interviews, reviews, criticals. All the time I'm writing music. You cannot imagine. All my life, like this. I don't pay attention to the societies. Otherwise, I couldn't create and compose this much music. When you pay, this is my experience. When you pay attention to people and what they say, it becomes an obstacle for your mind, and you cannot create more, because you start suffering, and you start being obsessed about what they are talking about. I cannot deny that it happens to me. For example, when I was teaching in an academic institute, some men start talking about me, or gossiping or something like that, that they didn't let me to improve in that academic. But I didn't pay attention. I strongly decided to remove them from my life, because I want to be heard. I want to write my music, and these are time wasting.
And what could you say to those people who couldn't realize as you did of this fatal situation? Which is your tip that you could say to them, more to the more female composers that could have the same feeling in front of men? What would be your tip for them?
We have to know that men are envy about us, about the women. Women are pure, women are soft, and they are very wise, and they have some love inside their body that none of the men in the world have. And that's why men doesn't want us to grow and become the leader of them, you know. But we have to help each other, as you are helping me to be more known about, other people know about me. I love you. Thank you very much, because you are helping me to be seen in the, for example, Switzerland or Spain, and people, many other people know about my music.
Yeah, it's a pleasure because your music is really nice. Yeah,
Your
Thank
music
you.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. About 4 years ago, I went to Prague orchestra, and we have recorded my symphonic orchestra. Have you heard my symphonic orchestra?
I have. Yeah, like you recorded with the Prague Symphony, no?
Yes, Prague Symphony. Yes, it was a very huge project, you know, recording my music, which got awarded this music. And it was very fantastic experience when all the men's instrument, all the players, the conductors, they were all men, and they were playing my music, you know. I fight with them in this way.
Yeah.
You were the leader.
Yeah, that's really cool. Could you tell us a personal event? Well, maybe we talked already about that, but
Yeah, I think so.
tell us a personal event that has influenced your music.
Yes. Actually, during the 7th International Fajr Festival, it's a festival in our in Iran, I won the first prize for the symphonic orchestral work named Fana, and I received the award in front of thousands of audience in Tehran Budaki Hall, and it was unforgettable experience. You know, it gave, for the first time, you know, I had experienced that people was admiring me.
Wow.
This could also be related with a question that we have, that is like, if you have ever had references, or if you have had also like female references. I think that has made.
There is a woman in our, Tina Pakravan is a director in Iran. Okay, Tina Pakravan. She's making a historical film in our country, and for the first time, I see that a woman director is making a historical film. Is not that much simple. It's very different and complicated and huge project. And she's my role model. I think that she's Iranian. She has the same limitation that I had, but she became very famous these days.
Nice.
And about people who follow me, yes, in my country, because we don't have that much woman composer. There are 2 or 3 people who are working professionally there. So I am one of the women that many girls in Iran call me, talk to me, ask me to teach them how to compose.
Wow,
super nice. You're a reference there. So
Yes.
Nice.
So I've read that you created an association, Gozar Music Assembly, and
Yes.
there also you have meetings with some students, performance. So this is also your way of being a reference for others, or what is the goal of that meetings?
Yes, exactly. What are you doing now with me? I have done for 10 years with famous composer in Iran, okay? But actually before coronavirus, okay? And I support financially, and the association in different places. I invite many people to talk, to have lecture, to introduce themselves. I let them to talk about themselves, and this association is very famous now in Iran. All the people knows about Gozar music.
Wow.
And
Okay.
maybe this is a way that many people knows me in Iran.
But it's about talking, sharing experience, or also about playing, composing, making music, making art?
Yes, different sessions. It depends on the people. Sometimes we introduce a translator, sometimes we introduce a player, sometimes composer. Every time people who connected with the music in different ways, we introduce them.
Okay, that's really interesting initiative, I think. So now, for your work on, what are you, in which moment of your life, professionally and personally, are you? So which are your goals personally, professionally? I don't know, in which state, situation are you right now?
Well, like all my life, I'm suspending, you know? Never find a very strong place to stand and sit. All the time we are like a leaf in the wind. Never find our place. And this is the character of artists. But actually my dream is writing for operette and musical theater. This is my dream.
Wow.
And I'm going to release a book recently, within 1 month. It's for piano four-handed.
Ah, nice.
I have worked on this book for 4 years. 4 years, and I'm really enthusiastic to. This book will be published soon.
Welcome.
I did enjoy my time talking to you, and I hope you all the best.
You are a very active and I don't know, really powerful.
Do many things with her. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Take care. Hope to see you one day and hug you.
Yes, thank you. That would be amazing.
Thank you.
We will say.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Ciao. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.